Welcome, everybody, to the Redzone Report right here on the Built in Buffalo YouTube, Facebook, and X channels. I'm your host, Izzy, and the Buffalo Bills just destroyed the Steelers 26-7. The first half, not great. Second half, whole different story, whole different ball game. You know, a lot of you guys were probably down about it after the first half, but man, oh man, did they rally back and did they handle business. So, you know what? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Izzy, again. The double intro continues forever. The Buffalo Bills today played the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh and set a record for that stadium by an opposing offense in rushing yards. The Buffalo Bills went out there and they handled business. They dominated the second half of the game. First play of the game, Aaron Rodgers strip sack. Christian Benford picks it up, runs it into the end zone. Now, on offense, Josh Allen didn't have a spectacular game. He threw an interception, boneheaded pick. But the rest of the game, pretty efficient, especially considering the fact that both of his starting tackles were out. Deion Dawkins at left tackle, Spencer Brown at right tackle. Now, Alec Anderson had a couple of penalties. He's also not played tackle since he played back at UCLA when he was in college. Also, Brian Vandermark, who has been on his team for a few years now, and we know that that kid can actually play. He actually can play. He may start for other NFL teams. But TJ Watt was on the other side. Alex Highsmith was on the other side. So those guys had their hands full. And unlike last week, Joe Brady decided to dial up some chips. Decided to order up some chips, you know, to go with the tackles. Tony Romo on the broadcast continually said we need to get 4 to 6 hands on TJ Watt, meaning you chip him, you maybe chip him again, and then you have your tackle take over, right? By that time, he's slowed down enough to where your tackle can get a hold and keep that man at bay. Because I tell you what, TJ Watt is still a dog. He's not top 10 in the NFL right now when it comes to sacks. He's 14th, I think, before this game. Before this week, he was 14th. Now, I'm not sure where he is because he didn't get a sack today. In fact, the Steelers did not have a single sack today of Josh Allen, and the Bills only sacked Aaron Rodgers the one time, but it counted. It started the movement of Buffalo Bills going out there and scoring, taking the lead, and then never looking back. Buffalo Bills in the second half scored 23 unanswered points. So that's where this game went, and that's very proud of our Buffalo Bills. Now, to say hi to my peoples in the comment section, Sandra L. King, always here. Welcome back, Sandra. YouTube. Come on, Sandra. Miss Nancy Nelson Sykes, that is the mother of Lance Nelson, the president of Built in Buffalo. She says, hey, Izzy, start with shaky, then they took off. Great game. Love it. Thank you, Miss Nance. Happy to have you on here every week. Comedian Mo Brown, good game. Absolutely for us. First half didn't go good for us, but scoring 23 in the second half was outstanding. See, Sean Mosley, hell yeah. Now that's how we play Buffalo Bills football. Go Bills, big dubs. Indeed, sir. I love the energy. That energy right there just pumped me up. I like that. Keep that up. Now, the Buffalo Bills went out there and the game plan looked like crap in the first half. Let's be honest, right? Looked like crap the first half. Offensively, defense stout, right? Allowed one touchdown the whole game. That was in the first half, but the defense was stout. Didn't really allow the Steelers to get running. The Steelers only had 58 yards rushing and 108 yards passing. So the Bills defense went out there and kicked some real butt. The Bills, when they're moving on all cylinders, when they're got their foot on the gas, they can beat any team in the NFL, in my opinion, including the team we lost to last week, the Houston Texans. If we had a better game plan for those two top 5 edge rushers that we played, where we didn't chip at all, we might not be sitting here having this discussion about the Houston Texans and the Bills. Houston Texans, who won today, by the way, and pulled into a potential wild card spot if things keep going the way it's going, because the Colts have been losing and they have been winning lately. It's like they flip game plans or something. But the Buffalo Bills, man, I tell you what, they went out there and they won dominantly today. So the Texans are 7-5, so they're still on the outside looking in. But they're the lead team in the hunt to potentially get in here. Now, if I look at the playoffs, Texans are 8th, right behind us. And the Steelers are now 9th. The Steelers were 4th before this game started. Now, the Ravens moving to 4th. They're both tied at 6-6. They play next week. And I believe they play again, like week 17 or something like that. The Steelers and the Ravens will be battling for that AFC North. We beat both of them. I'm not concerned. But I'll tell you what, man, the Buffalo Bills had me worried for the first half, and then in the second half, they just adjusted, which, a lot of people have been saying Joe Brady doesn't have the ability to adjust. Well, today he showed he can adjust. He just hasn't in the past. You know what I'm saying? See, thank you, Bills. Good work from Marianne Benz. Welcome back, Mary. Pretty sure I've seen you before. Tell you what, man. Let's go over the statistics, right? Buffalo Bills passing. Josh Allen, 15-23, 123 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, averaged 5.3 yards per pass, and that's because they were really coming after him with pressure. And the run game was working so good that he didn't have to throw it more than 23 times. He had a passer rating of 75.1. So that's not great, but better than what Aaron Rodgers had. Now, James Cook today went off 32 carries, 144 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. Didn't score a touchdown on the ground. Ray Davis, 9 carries for 62 yards, 6.9 yards per carry. Josh Allen, 8 carries, 38 yards, 4.8 per carry, and a touchdown. He was the only rushing touchdown. Ty Johnson had 2 carries, 5 for 5 yards, and I believe he got a first down on both of those. Looking at receiving, James Cook led receivers in this game in receiving as well. 3 catches, 33 yards, 11 per catch, no touchdowns. So James Cook today, whilst dominating, no scores. Dawson Knox, 3 catches, 28 yards, no touchdowns. Ty Johnson, 3 catches, 20 yards, no touchdowns. Brandon Cooks, 1 catch for 13 yards. I don't think we expected a lot from Brandon Cooks this game. He got signed in the middle of the week. He caught, the first pass from Josh Allen for a first down. Good play. But he's going to have, to take a little time to get the playbook down. And I think it's perfect for him now till next week for that to happen. Jackson Hawes had a catch for 10 yards. Keon Coleman had 2 for 5 yards and a touchdown. So he was not being used a lot infield, but he definitely was in the red zone, and that's kind of what he's built for. Awesome play by him. Gabe Davis, 1 catch for 5 yards. Khalil Shakir, 1 catch for 5 yards. It was not a passing day for the Buffalo Bills. The Bills also had 2 fumbles. 2 fumbles. James Cook fumbled it twice, lost it once, and he recovered one of them. The other fumble was by the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers fumbled the ball, and it was recovered by Christian Benford, who then proceeded to go and score. The sack was by Joey Bosa, who we brought in here to do things just like that. Looking at the defense, Shaq Thompson, 9 tackles, 5 solo. Jordan Poyer, 6 tackles, 3 solo. Cole Bishop, 4 tackles, 1 solo. Matt Milano, 3 tackles, 2 solo. Taron Johnson, 3 tackles. Joe Andreessen, 3 tackles. Javon Solomon, 2 tackles. Joey Bosa, 2 tackles, 1 solo, a sack, and a tackle for a loss. Daquan Jones, 2 tackles, 1 solo. Christian Benford, 2 and 1, 2 tackles, 1 solo, and a tackle for a loss. Reggie Gilliam had 1 tackle. Gabe Davis, 1 tackle. As on the interception. Greg Rousseau, 1 tackle, and it was for a loss. TJ Sanders, 1 tackle. I mean, the team had total of 49 tackles, 20 of them solo, 4 tackles for a loss, and 1 sack. The Buffalo Bills defense gave the Steelers the business. And I'll go over the Steelers stats in a second. But looking at this comment here, James Cook was cooking. Great run game today. Plus, big up the offensive line for holding Josh Allen down. And the defense stepped up in the second half. Absolutely. The defense stepped up the whole game, really. They only allowed 7 points in the whole game. And it was in the second quarter, late. And then the Bills were driving, and they scored 3 right after. But the defense was excellent today. They were. Yeah. Tre'Davious White looked good today. Christian Benford, the comeback game, an interception and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Huge game for him. Shaq Thompson's out there not giving up runs. Like he just looks like a guy who knows what he's doing against the run. And I think that the linebackers have really been part of the problem when it comes to stopping the run. Him and Dorian Williams out there stopping the run. Matt Milano stopping screens. Like the team on defense looked like they have years ago when this defense was top 5. This is what they look like right now. Need for more of this. Great job, Bills, especially the replacement O-lineman. Indeed. Jake Smith takes time to get going. Sometimes it does. Hey, Izzy, go Bills. Welcome back, Christopher, with a K. See, great work, Josh Allen. He had a solid day. Could have been better, but could have been worse. He could have had a bad day. He could have tried to put the cape on and do things that he didn't need to do. He did put the cape on in the run game, but he didn't in the pass game. So happy about that. Izzy, how you rate the way we played? Our defense won the game. Our defense definitely did help us win this game. They were, I'd say it's probably 70-30 on the defense. They won this game for us. So yeah, I'd say that it was mostly on them, because if they weren't going, then the Steelers would have scored more, obviously, and then score more points. You win the game. But I rate the defense like 70% responsible for this game today. Like they held it down. 8-4. You're damn right, Christopher. You're damn right. We got Cincinnati next week. Let's get them. Izzy, salute to you, my bro. Go Bills. Go Bills. Salute. Appreciate that. You know, as a veteran, I do appreciate that. Even though you might not know I'm a veteran. But yeah. It was a great game for the Bills. Like the first half again. Absolute god-awful, hard to watch. But the second half, man. Now, I'm going to go over Pittsburgh's statistics. Aaron Rodgers was 10 of 21, so under 50%. 5.6 yards per pass. 117 yards passing, -9 for the sack. Passer rating was 65. Mason Rudolph went in there. He was 0 for 3. He had 1 interception. Passer rating of 0. Pretty bad. You look at the running game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which they usually can run decently enough. They're not like a powerhouse run team, but they're known to run the ball. Jaylen Warren had 10 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown. That's it. 3.5 yards a carry on 10 carries. And they didn't run the ball a ton because they had to pass it because the Bills started taking the game over. Kenneth Gainwell, 5 for 20, 4 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. The longest run for them was by Jaylen Warren for 12. The second longest was 11 by Kenneth Gainwell, which lets you know that outside of those 2 runs, they were probably getting around 2.5 yards per carry. Caleb Johnson went in there. He had 2 carries for 3 yards. Aaron Rodgers had 1 carry for 0 yards. They had a total of 58 yards on 18 carries for 3.2 per carry and a touchdown. That's rough. Receivers, Darnell Washington, who got his targets late in the game, fourth quarter. They were trying to drive to get down the field where they stalled out and went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. Defense bowed up and stopped the run. Oh my gosh, what happened? They stopped the run in its tracks. Now, DK Metcalf, 3 catches, 32 yards. Christian Benford had him blanketed the whole game. And I know a lot of Bills fans were talking about the DK Metcalf trade, and we could have had DK Metcalf. The Steelers screwed up big time. They screwed up big time, right? They traded for DK Metcalf, and then they trade away George Pickens. How does that look? Like, what? Like the Steelers got Metcalf and a 2nd-round pick and a 7th-round pick, and the Steelers sent a 6th. Okay, so they bet on DK Metcalf. I guess he was hurt years prior, and they trade away George Pickens. And man, what a mistake! Excuse me. The Seahawks received a 2nd-round pick and a 5th and a 7th-round pick. So they got a 2nd and a 7th for Metcalf and a 6th, and then they traded away Pickens to the Cowboys. And Metcalf has not been good this year. He just hasn't. George Pickens. I'm gonna look that up real quick because I know a lot of Bills fans wanted Metcalf, but now in hindsight, we're like, I'll take George Pickens. The Cowboys sent a 3rd and a late round pick swap in the 5th round for a 6th. So the Cowboys sent a 3rd and a 5th for Pickens and a 6th. Clearly, winner in that was the Cowboys because Pickens has been balling all season long, especially after CeeDee Lamb went down. See, we broke his nose. He was scared after that. Yeah, Aaron was. He didn't look like he wanted to be in there anymore after he got smashed by freaking Joey Bosa. Shavers did good blocking. It was excellent blocking. Look, the receivers did excellent blocking. This is why you brought Gabe Davis onto the roster. 1 second, please. But yeah, Shavers did good blocking. You know, you put Curtis Samuel on IR, and then you put Gabe Davis on the main roster. He's known to be an excellent blocker for the run. Then you take Shavers, who's also a very good run blocker, and then you have Shakir, who's also a good run blocker. And then you have Dawson Knox out there. Kincaid missed the game, obviously, but he's a good run blocker. And that was a recipe for success today. The Bills ran all over the Steelers, as we said. Pickens had 2 tutties on Thursday. Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Pickens had 2 tutties on Thursday. Pickens has been balling out. Now, if anybody's mad about the Bills not acquiring a wide receiver, they should be mad that they didn't go after Pickens because, man, that dude's he's a dog right now. Like, I would absolutely love for George Pickens right now to be a Buffalo Bill. The Cowboys right now, next season, are negative $33 million. I don't know if they're going to be able to afford Pickens. So if he hits free agency, man, that could get crazy. If he hits free agency and the Buffalo Bills don't show interest, don't go get him, there's going to be a lot of mad Bills fans out there because George Pickens is balling out. And I hate talking good about the Cowboys. I hate it. It tastes terrible in my mouth. I don't like it. But players individually, can't go wrong with that. He currently leads the Cowboys with 1,142 receiving yards. 1,142. He has more receiving yards than CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb did miss like 3 games, and he's behind him with 744. 22 more catches. 5 more touchdowns. Pickens is a dog. Pickens is a dog. My daughter's boyfriend, hopefully future son-in-law, he's like, "Nah, we finna franchise tag him." Now with that cap problem, you're not. Now with that problem in the salary cap, you're not. You're gonna have to let a bunch of people go. You're gonna have to restructure some people, kicking the can down the road. That'd be a terrible idea. But that's what Cowboys fans want. That may be the route they go, and if they go that route, hey, we'll find somebody. But man, this game was outstanding. Back to the Steelers though. Darnell Washington 2 for 45, Metcalf 3 for 32, Gainwell 2 for 25, Jalen Warren 2 for 9, Jonah Smith 1 for 6, and then the rest of them didn't catch a thing. Didn't catch a thing. The Steelers, they fumbled twice, only lost one of them. One of them was that massive bad snap by Zach Frazier that Aaron Rodgers had to jump on. Defensively, Peyton Wilson had a solid day for them. He was pretty good. Jalen Ramsey, tackling was pretty good. Their secondary did well against our receivers just because Josh didn't have a lot of time to pass. He didn't get sacked at all, but he didn't have a ton of time. And so he was being smart and getting rid of the ball quickly. So their linebackers got to eat. Jalen Ramsey got to eat. He basically plays the Taron Johnson role at nickel. So that was pretty good. Yaya Black. There were some definite issues in this game that needed to be addressed, though, by the officials, for one, and then Joe Brady on the offense, which he addressed it in the second half. But we got to come out hotter than that. We should have blown these guys out way worse than we did. I'd still say we blew them out, right? We beat them by 19 points. We beat them by 3 scores. So that's a blowout to me. But it should have been worse than that. We should have clobbered these dudes. It shouldn't even been a thing that, we were down at half. We should have been up probably 13-7 at half. We should have been up. But I digress. I'm just glad that the Buffalo Bills came out with the victory. They went out there and they clobbered the Steelers like it was nobody's business. Matt Prater is another issue. I'm hoping that we can get our boy Bass back. I know a lot of Bills fans find that strange to hear, but Bass wasn't missing a bunch of extra points. And I do like Prater. He's making long field goals, but he's missing an extra point. What, the last 3 games he's missed an extra point? That's 33 yards. What's going on here with that? Shouldn't be missing these extra points. That's no excuse for that. But he's drilling 50-yarders. So, make it make sense. It's like Dawson Knox's problem he had back when he was dropping the easy passes but catching the hard ones. It's like that. It's irritating. It's annoying. But, what are you going to do? We only punted twice. So, that's partially because we turned it over twice. And also because, the Steelers just couldn't get anything going on offense. They punted 4 times. The Bills had a higher average punt, 49.5. Steelers, 40.3. They totaled 161 yards on twice as many punts. We scored 99. What a weird game. Weird in the sense that 26-7 is an awkward score, right? But I'll take it. If it was 27-7, that feels more reasonable because the amount of touchdowns and the field goals, but the extra point just makes that score feel weird. But man, the guys who really won this game for the Buffalo Bills, I'd say Shaq Thompson had an outstanding day. Cole Bishop and Jordan Poyer had a pretty good day. Matt Milano had a pretty good day. Joey Bosa, he stepped up when he needed to. He was getting pressure. He was getting a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, even though he only got home 1 time. But Christian Benford was a dog today, baby. He was just lighting it up. I loved what I saw at Christian Benford because he hasn't been having the best year. Christian Benford's year has been kind of suspect. And so when you look at his ratings, like especially on PFF, I know some people like kind of scoff at PFF. He has been below standard, and the eye test also agrees with that, right? Today, the eye test was beautiful. He shut down DK Metcalf. Now, DK Metcalf, again, not having the best season, but lesser receivers have had some success against Christian Benford this year. And today was not that day. His run defense grade this year is way better than his coverage grade, 89.3. His coverage grade, 49.4. His pass rush grade, 66.9. He's having a better year rushing the passer than in coverage. That's not acceptable. It's unacceptable. Today was another Another story, right? He went out there and he crushed it. Now, what does that mean exactly? It doesn't really mean a whole lot, right? Again, the wind was crazy. It was DK Metcalf, who's not having a great year. And, you know, it was a good bounce back game for Christian Benford to hopefully motivate him for the rest of the year. DK Metcalf has 42 receptions, 573 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the year before this game. And this game added 35 yards, I think. It was 32. So he's still under. No, he's just over 600 yards now. It's like 605 yards. Not impressed. But I am very, very happy that Christian Benford had a bounce back game. See, it depends on what team shows up. It was the right team today. The Buffalo Bills went out there today, played the right brand of football. The defense went out there and they stopped the run. Right? When you stop the run, good things happen. Christian Benford. Yeah, you damn right, Christian Benford. Christian Benford's a freaking dog today. I need him to be a dog the rest of the year. Let's see. Buffalo Bills. Who was active for this game? I'm trying to look for the inactives. The heck was that? I'm pretty sure Max Hairston didn't play. So I didn't see him all game, and I would have noticed. Marcus Ingram was inactive. Let's see. Joshua Palmer, Marcus Ingram. Was he active today? I don't think he was active today. I didn't see him playing. Huh. Hairston. Status. Man. I don't know. I'll have to do more research on that, but yeah. It was music to my ears to see the Steelers faithful booing their team. Yeah. Also music to my ears at the end of the game. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. So I think he's still in the concussion protocol. I don't think that he was out there. Let's see. So he didn't carry an injury designation into the game. I don't know, man. That's weird because he doesn't have an injury designation, but he also wasn't on the inactives list. Like the inactives list didn't include him. The inactives list included Joshua Palmer, Terrell Bernard, Jamarcus Ingram, Fidarian Mathis, Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown, Dalton Kincaid. So if he's not on the inactive list and he's also not on the injury list, where was he? Like, was he just on a sideline as a backup? Like, if you needed him, put him in. Was that might have been what it was? We didn't need him today. Like, thank goodness. The Steelers don't exactly have a bevy of excellent wide receivers. They're like us. DK's kind of on a Khalil Shakir level at this point, I'll say. And the rest of their guys are basically no names. They got Kenneth Gainwell is their second leading receiver in for the season. And you have Ben Skoranek, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson. Like this, they don't have a star-studded cast of wide receivers. They just kind of average at best when it comes to that. And so it was a rough day for them. I look at Khalil Shakir. He's got 564 on the year. So yeah, he's got more catches and more touchdowns. I think no, not more touchdowns than DK, but very similar. Very similar season. But hell of a win today, guys. Hell of a win. Not a long show. Not a lot to say. The Bills did exactly what they were supposed to do. They played the game they were supposed to play. They beat a team that they're supposed to beat with a winning record, right? So there's another good team that the Bills beat. They had their starting quarterback, right? I know people will talk about the Panthers game, say, hey, whoa, Andy Dalton was starting. Okay. The Panthers defense today held the Rams to 24. Okay, the Rams have been balling. Right? The Rams have been balling, and they got held to 24 by the Carolina Panthers. And then the Panthers beat them today. I'm just saying, just because you lose to a team that you should beat doesn't mean that you are a bad team. Every team does it. Right? The Eagles lost to the Giants and the Cowboys. It happens. Am I saying that those losses mean nothing? No, they're not saying that because we're sitting here looking for a wild card spot, and we shouldn't be. We should be looking to win the division. That looks very difficult right now because the Patriots' schedule looks pretty easy, and ours is still has some difficulty to it. If I look at our schedule, I'm looking at Cincinnati, who has recently played pretty good against us. We have New England, who's on top of the division. Then it's Cleveland. So we should beat them. I'll be at that game. Philadelphia, and then the Jets. So 2 of the next 5 games are easy games. And then 3 of them, not so much. Not so much. Now, I'm extremely ecstatic that we won this game. But we got to win next week. We got to win next week. We got to win next week. That's all I'm going to say. But guys, let's go. Be good, do good. God bless and go Bills. And we are out of here, guys. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Here we go.